Talk about a bucket list interview. Never would have thought that we would be saying this, but have the opportunity to interview a billionaire. I hope you guys are all having a good day. Wanted just to kind of hop into here. I know that I have not been able to make as many videos as I've wanted to for my personal account recently, but have been a little bit swamped behind the scenes here. I do want to say super excited to and give a huge shout out to Darren. Most of you guys know him, Fame 21 More. We've been working on this for a few months, but looks like we're going to be interviewing legendary venture capitalist Tim Draper. This is going to be tomorrow, May 9th at 12 p.m. EST. Certainly going to be exploring Tim's background and history of investments, things like SpaceX, and we'll get into that here in a second, though. But yeah, this is crazy. Never thought we would have the opportunity to do something like this. Super humbling, but really cool. I do want to say, too, kind of on the back end of this, so that this will be an hour interview. If you want to listen to Darren and I interview Tim Draper, feel free to go to @Genfinity.io on Twitter, give us a follow, and then click on the spaces right here and join in. That's going to be really cool. That'll be from 12 to 1 Eastern tomorrow. And then right on the back end of that, from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern time, we have a pretty diverse cross-chain panel here. So we have Andre Casterman, Trade Tech and Zenfin, so XTC, the ecosystem. We've got Ben Jorgensen of Constellation, CEO. We've got Matthew Niemerg, co-founder of Aleph Zero. We have Mei Chan coming out of the Hedera ecosystem. She's the CEO of Hashpack, which is obviously kind of the most widely used wallet on Hedera. And then we have the new CEO of Brillion coming out of the Nexera ecosystem. So we're going to be talking about a lot of tokenization, user experience aspects. Fabian Vogelsteller, obviously the inventor of ERC20, and then kind of going into their own ecosystem with Luxo, which focuses very much so on user experience. There's going to be a really kind of diverse discussion here. There's going to be big picture stuff about kind of the future of blockchain adoption. So I've got two really kind of heavy hitting panels tomorrow if you guys are interested in joining. Also on the back end, I guess I should preface, we've been doing a ton of kind of work through the Genfinity aspect. You can check out genfinity.io for all the articles we're doing. We do bi-weekly updates on all the ecosystems that we work with. So not financial advice. Genfinity does have a media relationship with multiple layer ones. But we try to do our best job at providing, some due diligence and just some recaps as far as what's going on in the ecosystem as much as possible. And the big focus is consistently bringing builders together across different ecosystems, trying to break some of these silos down and grow this industry's pie collaboratively as much as possible. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be a massive day. I wanted to get you guys a video before that. You can see some of the kind of the breakdowns that we do here. So if you guys are interested in Constellation Network, and kind of a summary of whether it's metagraphs, which is essentially like layer ones within the Constellation ecosystem that can be launched, or the work that these guys are doing with the DoD, Department of Defense. I've also begun doing as many kind of ecosystem builder interviews as possible. So we don't have direct ties to a lot of these builders per se, but I do think it's really important to get out there and interview the people that are actually building on these networks. One of which is Interlock. These guys have a really cool browser-based extension that deals in kind of security measures. It kind of runs in the background. And it's like collective intelligence, which is really cool. There's a lot kind of to dig into the weeds within all these ecosystems. You can check out the ecosystem updates we're doing for Luxo or Hedera or anybody that we're dealing with. So trying to build out as organically and hard work wise as possible, which has taken a lot of time. We've been doing this for a few years now, and that's pretty much primarily where my time goes. That's why I can't get into the weeds and just do videos for the sake of doing videos, because I'm actually trying my hardest to build something here. But Tim Draper, American investor, venture capitalist, founder of Draper Fisher Jurvetson, Draper University, Draper Venture Network, Draper Associates. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot here. Founded Badoo, Tesla, Skype, SpaceX, or funded Badoo, Tesla, Skype, SpaceX, Twitch, Hotmail, Focus Media, Robinhood, Athena Health, Box, Cruise Automation, Carta, Planet, 15 unicorns at the seed stage. Obviously a huge advocate for blockchain, distributed ledger technology, tokenization, Bitcoin. He's in not just Bitcoin, but a lot of different digital assets you'll see here in a second. Shout out to at Crypto Bullet here. This is a fireside chat that Tim Draper did with Gary Gensler a few years ago, and I'll let you guys listen to this real quick.
Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
just
what
feel
line,
the panic in their voices.
What's the line
but here's
of business that is most
well. Here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean,
now I want you guys to pay attention to this part right here because this is really interesting. For those of you that are new here, that are just coming into this space, we have seen these different moments of how this technology is looked at. I can remember late 2016, early 2017, it was 100% the dismissal period. We're going to ignore this technology. Even kind of into 2018, 2019 a little bit. Pay attention to these stages here. It's really interesting because what Tim Draper is saying is 1,000% true. And this isn't just blockchain and DLT. This is any type of technology that affects the kind of incumbents in the status quo. This is how this stuff normally goes as far as adoption is concerned, but I thought this was pretty cool.
The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing. And they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along, the powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say, it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. They're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing they do. They adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No,
yeah, it's like
it's after. It's after the press planting. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh, God, this thing's happening.
Isn't it a little bit duly ironic and hypocritical that you've got Gary Gensler sitting there? But really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of kind of lines to be drawn here, especially, given what we've seen across multiple of these technology providers facing kind of these legal battles. Why do you think they're facing these legal battles? Certainly from the XRP standpoint, what we've seen kind of Ripple go through, and but there's multiple others, obviously. I mean, Uniswap and Coinbase and all these other types of things. It gets ignored, obviously, and yeah, you can see kind of the progression here. But going to be really interesting to interview Tim tomorrow, and then last but not least, here we see that it looks like the SEC has filed their concluding response. I think this was yesterday, as far as the remedies phase of the lawsuit against Ripple. But then it's kind of alluded to the fact that Ripple's stablecoin initiative may be the next thing under scrutiny. Is what it is. This thing, seems to keep kicking the can down the road. If you guys are interested, like I said, I wanted to knock out a video here because I feel like this is a pretty big deal. Again, just pretty humbling. A huge shout out to Darren for literally trying to put this together, getting Tim Draper on a space for about 3 months now. And then obviously the big focus here is to try to bring these ecosystem leaders together to, start a little bit of dialogue. It's really easy to get in these echo chambers and these kind of silos that naturally occur, but it's always interesting to see when things come about that might shock some people's current narratives as far as the end all be all within one ecosystem, because these ecosystems at the end of the day are going to start kind of working together in interesting ways, and that'll be interesting to watch. So hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I will talk to you when I talk to you. Thanks. Bye.